Coming up, a Stone Age balancing act.
They have the audacity to charge us. That is simply pay to play.
We can't let everybody have access to Stonehenge all of the time.
And
next, to some, it's a must-see tourist destination. To others, it's a sacred site of huge significance. More than 1.5 million people visit Stonehenge every year, and that leaves English heritage with a difficult balancing act.
I spent all last night here, and I must admit I met some really rather interesting people.
Out of your concrete cities, out of your concrete minds, out of your control, a festival unwinds. Some things can't be controlled. Don't mess with the standing stones.
May there be peace in the West. May there be peace in the West.
at each solstice and equinox, for the hours around sunrise, English Heritage opens Stonehenge for free and with complete access. Everyone from druids to tourists can get up close to the sacred stones without the need for a ticket.
A festival unwinds. Some things can't be controlled. Don't mess with the standing stones.
It's a rite some believe should be enjoyed all year round.
It's a tourist attraction. It's lost its sacred energy. But at the equinoxes and the solstices, for a moment it's restored back to the people, right? It's no longer about the tourists. It's about the people gathering together like we've done for thousands of years, and nobody can stop us.
Fierce arguments over access to the World Heritage Site have raged since the late 70s. At the heart of the argument are the Druids.
It's a great solar clock, right?
In the Iron Age, they were our priests, judges, peacemakers and doctors.
Try and get the stones together.
More recently, they've become religious protesters.
Brilliant.
Chief Druid Arthur Pendragon has fought for nearly 40 years to stop plans limiting access to fields and byways around Stonehenge, known as the Droves.
They want it controlled and they want it as a tourist attraction. We are fed up of being the poor relation. We are recognised as stakeholders here at Stonehenge by UNESCO. We can't even get a meeting with the council to discuss why they want to close the Droves, because they don't want anybody viewing Stonehenge, like we're doing now, for nothing.
For most of the year, a ticket into Stonehenge will set you back £19. But it hasn't always been the case.
There's only one way of life.
In 1974, alternative philosopher Wally Hope organised a free festival to reclaim the stones from government control. By 1984, an estimated 100,000 people descended on the area, some for different reasons.
Why are you here then? To have a laugh and get stoned.
But for Wally Hope's followers, the stones symbolised a simpler way of life.
Rather than everything moving in vast circles like it does, we're trying to bring it back to nature a bit and let everything move in smaller circles.
There is people who want to change things and they will be attracted, and there's got to be something where they can sort of organise, and we think this would be the centre point to organise the change.
Today, Sean Hope is one of Wally's last remaining disciples, and with him comes a very, very loud sound system.
It's in our DNA to celebrate and festival, you know what I mean? That's what our pagan ancestors did here. People who built these temples might have a bit of techno added to it, but, you know, we just want to be with like-minded people and, you know what I mean, share some peace and love.
We've been out on the Drove, we've been enjoying music for the last 4 or 5 days.
Wally Dean's another Hope follower who's been coming here for more than 40 years and still flies the flag for his namesake.
I've got the ashes here of Wally Hope, who started off the Stonehenge Festival back in 1974. Well, the festival was brilliant. They were like, you know, we had a whole village going on out on that field and lasted nearly a month. It was a gathering of the tribes, you know, we're travelling people, we're nomadic people, and, you know, we come here to honour our passing of the year.
Definitely pulled to this place, and we've been fighting to try to get a return of where we can have a legal festival, say maybe a couple of miles down the road. It's our culture, it's our roots. I've campaigned it because I know it's a good thing and we need it back.
While Sean hopes to bring them back, the original festivals ended in confrontation. In 1985, hundreds of police officers in riot gear stopped a convoy of New Age travellers from reaching the Drove.
What then followed was one of the blackest moments in the history of British policing.
Are you stand there, You are now committing serious criminal offences.
What's wrong with it? What's happened? Possibly a fractured skull.
For the next 15 years, Stonehenge was closed off during solstice and equinoxes, when riots became common. Peace was only restored in 2000, when free access was again granted at key times.
It's changed as well, so people get a sense of what it's like in the winter.
Kate Logan is Stonehenge Director for English Heritage.
Kate, Stonehenge is almost like the People's Monument. Everyone wants a slice of Stonehenge. That creates its certain problems because you have to try and please all of these people and give them what they want and expect, I suppose.
Obviously, lots of different people want to access Stonehenge in lots of different ways, and we're really respectful of that. But the fact is, we can't let everybody have access to Stonehenge all of the time. It would be damaged. And we've been clear about our aspiration to, where we can, kind of remove those intrusions and that kind of disruption to the World Heritage Site. But generally, we coexist. We work very regularly with members of the Druid and pagan community who actually help us plan winter solstice, summer solstice, the spring and autumn equinox, where we manage free access to Stonehenge.
But this winter, the byway was temporarily closed, and it's not gone down well.
They are closing all the byways open to all traffic throughout the whole of the World Heritage Site to give them the monopoly on parking up at their visitor centre, and then they have the audacity to charge us. That, in my opinion, is simply pay to pray.
Making money from Stonehenge is nothing new. The first stalls opened nearly 100 years ago. And by the 20th century, it was besieged by visitor centres, car parks and A-roads. Tourists here bring in over £20 million a year for English heritage, who want to return the landscape to its Bronze Age glory. The new visitor centre is a bus ride away.
We've got a huge range of monuments here in the landscape. We've got early Neolithic monuments, we've got Bronze Age round barrows, and a lot of them are connected to Stonehenge in different ways. So the management of the site is all about looking after the whole landscape, not just the stones themselves.
Susan Greeny is a senior archaeologist for the charity.
People look at Stonehenge, they think this massive, solid lump of rock and stones, but it's much more delicate than people imagine.
We are unfortunately unable to let everybody inside the stones, and that's for a number of reasons. One is that there is really fragile archaeology here just below our feet, and it's very shallow, so it's actually, just below the turf there is unexcavated remains. Only about half of Stonehenge has ever been excavated, so that evidence is there in the ground, and we want to make sure that it stays safe. It's such a unique site, there's nothing like it in the world, so we have a great responsibility to make sure that it survives and it's protected and we look after it.
Few would dispute that sentiment, but free access to the Drove and stones remains a sticking point.
The Drove is ours, and we stay there freely, and we will continue to stay there freely, whatever they say. The English Heritage have tried to take more and more rights away from us, so it's good that we come in here, but they had to let us in here because we'd have just kept taking down the fences, so.
I think we need to move on from the confrontational tactics of the 80s. But unfortunately, the authorities are boxing us into a corner where we may have the new confrontational tactics of the 20s.
Stonehenge given to the public over 100 years ago. Do you think in 100 years' time there'll be your equivalent, my equivalent, still standing here, still talking about these issues, or do you think they could crack it?
Unfortunately, I think that's most likely. People from all around the world come here. So it's got to be worth doing it properly, hasn't it?